Okay, so we're into Peter Peterson's file. The project is summons and complaint, and now we want to add the forms. Down here, it has a lot of the forms that you last used. And the nice thing for me is that as I was practicing for this video, I pulled up these forms. So we can look and go, oh, we need a civil case cover sheet, add, and it puts it over here. We need a summons, add, puts it over here. We need the complaint for personal injury, add, throws it here. Cause of action, motor vehicle, add, puts it here. And a proof of service for the summons, add, over here. Let me, just to show you how it works, let me add cause of action, general negligence. And so when you do cause of action, it has the forms that related to that. All of these are different causes of action. The motor vehicle is over here. If I wanted to add general negligence, I could click that and I'd put it over here. All right, good. So now we have the forms that we need. So now we're going to go to populate. It's going to open up a profile. Again, since I am the responsible attorney, it is put in my name and my address. We're going to put Peter Peterson in there. That's our client. Then who is the defendant and who is the plaintiff. Now, I'm going to skip putting in the defendant to show how to add information when you forget. But here, Peter Peterson is the plaintiff. It has all of the court locations across the state, so I'm going to select Orange as the county, and it has then all the courthouses that are in orange. We're going to file this at the Central Justice Center. Then it has the county, the case number. I don't know that yet because I haven't filed this. Once I filed it, I'll have the case number. I can go back into the project and upload the case number. The case name, it's going to be Peterson versus Davidson. If I knew the hearing and department, the judicial officer, I could put that. Okay, so again, I've skipped defendant on purpose. So now we're going to go to drafting. All of the forms are listed here, and then the particular form is highlighted. Now it shows the form we're working on, and you can see these blue highlights as anywhere I can click and put information in. So this is an unlimited case. It's an auto tort. The case is not complex, and I'm not reading the form to you. I think you should read the form. If you have questions, you can ask me, but that's not why I'm doing this. All right, number of causes of action is 1. This case is not a class action. So up here it asks us if it was a complex case, and to determine if it's complex, you'd look at this, and you can guess it's because there's a lot of witnesses, there's a lot of different parties, there's novel issues, and for those complex cases, you can read the rule of court, but there's extra resources available to the court when they have a complex. In fact, we have special judges in Orange County for complex cases and special courtrooms for those cases. All right, so then we can click here and go to the next form. All right, and this is the summons, and we go, oh shoot, look, I forgot to put in the defendant. Now, you could type it there, but for things like this, you want to go back to populate and put it in here, Davidson. And it shows you right here on the forms I've selected, there are 6 times that it's going to take this information and populate it. Also, in a civil action, you want to identify whether the party is an individual or a corporation. So I'm going to add these in here, an individual. And I'm going to go back to drafting, and it will now have thrown, well, it should have, put the name in here. It might be that let me figure out why it didn't do that. See, it threw it in here. Let's go back to the summons and see what happened. Maybe because I was on that and I already selected it, that it's not going to fill it in. So let me do that. Davidson, and individual. All right. But the summons is now filled out. We just got to look at who's the name of the defendant, who's the name of the plaintiff. we're going to have some does in here. Does. Oh, jeez. David Davidson and individual does 1 to 50. Okay, let's go here. So here again, David Davidson, Peter Plaintiff does 1 to 50, and this is a complaint for motor vehicle. We're suing for property damage and personal injury. This is an unlimited action because it's more than $25,000. So the plaintiff, Peter Peterson, suing David Davidson. However many pages this will be, we don't know yet, so we got to go back and fill this in later. Then we have the plaintiff above is a competent adult, except if it's a corporation. So it said except for, Acme Corporation is a corporation qualified to do business in California. We had another one that was another corporation or was a public entity or was a minor. We put that. If one of the plaintiffs is doing business under a fictitious business name, suppose we were suing something like Food for Less, which I've already told you about is a DBA for either Kroger Foods or Ralph's Grocery Company or something. We'd fill that in because we have to make an allegation that we've complied with the fictitious business name laws. If we haven't, not entitled to sue. Then defendants, we do the same thing. Every defendant is a natural person except that those that aren't, that are corporations. And then we have to identify those which are corporations. Okay. The does, 1 to 20 might be the agents and employees. Does 21 to 50. We can talk a little bit more about does later. If we fall under 382 of the CCP, we have to put in here. We don't. The court is a proper court. Why? And you have to, this is venue. At least one of the defendant resides in the jurisdiction. This is the principal place of business of a corporation, or injury to a person or damage to personal property. So let me select that. And then, remember we talked about suing the king and how you used to have to get permission to sue the king, and that we carry that over today, and that if I'm going to sue the government, I have to put a claim in with the government. So if we had that situation, we have to fill that out. We don't have it, so we don't. And then the following cause of action are attached. Well, we attached motor vehicle, right? This cause of action right here, motor vehicle, that's the one we attached. And then our plaintiff has suffered wage loss, loss of use of property, hospital medical expenses, general damage, property damage, and loss of earnings. Good. If it was a wrongful death, then we have some information here. The relief side and the complaint is within the jurisdiction. Yeah, we're suing for more than $25,000. What are we seeking? Compensatory damages. If we wanted punitives, we put it here. Also, the amount of damages is for a personal injury, and so that we have to check according to proof. We don't put a specific dollar amount. And then I, as the attorney of record, could sign. If we're going to have our client sign, we could delete that and put it in. And over here, on the cause of action, we have the first cause of action. This is an attachment to the complaint. Plaintiff alleges the acts of the defendant were negligent and they were the cause of damages. And so what day, 1/1/2020 or whatever day that it was. And then at 123 Main Street, Santa Ana, California, 92705, whatever it is. All right, so now defendant David Davidson was who operated a motor vehicle, and then we might give him some does here, 1 to 10, and then the defendants who were employed. See, at the time of filing, we don't know. Maybe David was working at the time, and so we might later learn that his employer would be responsible. We don't know them yet, so we're putting in a doe. Then who owned it? Well, we don't really know. We might later on in discovery learn that somebody knows. So those does are listed here, and then maybe somebody let the other person drive the car and they were negligent in letting them drive the car, and so we've reserved our right to sue them here. And then other agents, employees, other people that we might want to sue later. Almost always you're going to add those in a case because you might learn something later. All right. And if we had other people, then we would put them here. And then you put the page number for this. Now we have a proof of service, so that this case, we're going to serve the summons and complaint. Now this isn't going to get filed, but I like to do it as part of my initial pleadings. I also have a verification. In my verification, there's a form you can use, but I have a form, a Word document, and so I just click up here, add and remove. Then it's going to say add a PDF or a .doc. Click that, it goes to my file, and I pull over, I double click on the verification, and boom, it adds it right here. Nice thing over here is you can change the order of these things. And later on, we'll talk about e-signing these. Then what I could do is combine these and then send them off to my client to sign and send back, so it's electronically electronically signed, and then I can file it with the court. Now, I have all these I want to print. Now, you could just push print from right here while you're in a browser. I would not do that because it doesn't flatten the PDF. What you want to do is go over here to download, and it gives you two options. One is to combine all of these in one long PDF, or download just the one you want to reprint. Say you have the form, the client changed something, and so you got to go in and just change something on the plaintiff. You got to change something on the cause of action. Then you can print these. All right. So let me do it as combined. Now again, what it's going to do right here, it's showing the progress bar, it's going to flatten all these. A problem that you may run into is it might say that it's been blocked by a pop-up bar. So you want to go up here when you see that, and you'll have a little box. You click that little box, allow pop-ups from this page, and then it will give you this, or it will download it, depending on how your browser works right here. And you can click on it. And now I have all of the forms, and they are complete. Print them off, get them signed, scan and e-file them, or get an electronic signature by forwarding this to a client, and then when you get it back, you can electronically file it.